Welcome to She Inspires, a series dedicated to celebrating pioneering women whose remarkable achievements continue to inspire us all. My name is Sherwood McCaskey. I'm pleased that you have joined us. In this, our first episode of this mini-series commissioned by the Bureau of Gender Affairs and the Ministry of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs, we shine a spotlight on two trailblazing female jockeys, Sonia Perkins and Cadejah Arthur. In 1979, at a very tender age, Perkins made history by becoming the first Barbadian female jockey to ride here at the Garrison Savannah. Her groundbreaking debut not only shattered gender barriers in the male-dominated sport of horse racing, but also paved the way for future generations of females in the sport. Perkins' courage and determination have left an indelible mark on Barbados's rich racing heritage. Her inspiring story begins now.
The first time I saw Sonia, my heart went out to her. It was the morning with her horse she was exercising.
The ride of the day came in the final event when Sonia Perkins rode St. George to victory.
Then our Free Spirit on the outside, Decoy looking for a way through on the end, but I don't think they're going to beat Cat Cole. She's running on too strongly. Coming with a lovely run on the outside is St. George, but it's all too late. It's going to be Cat Cole who's stopping. St. George finishing very fast indeed on the outside. St. George gets up to win it from Cat Cole. Splendid ride from Sonia Perkins. Free Spirit is next, then comes Decoy, Rasta Roy, and last one.
I started horse riding from about 10 years old, and my family was involved in horse racing, my granddad and my dad. So it was just like a normal flow, and I liked to go fast, and the faster I went, the better it felt. So when I finished my school and did my A-levels, I took a little time to go and work at Hopefield Farm with David Seal, just exercising the race horses. And then from there it led to exercising at the Garrison, and then from there it was, well, let's do this thing, why not try it? The first race I rode was one of the most exciting things in my whole life. I rode Precision, it was owned by Jeffrey Cave and trained by Freddie Thurkel, and he came fourth in my first ride. It was really, really exciting. The first ride, I think, and the first win were the two most exciting, and the first Barbados Gold Cup in 1982. So lots of exciting things.
Well, as you are aware, physical and mental fitness are important for jockeys to excel in horse racing. These carefully structured programs are intended to enhance endurance, build muscle strength, and improve balance, all of which are essential for maintaining control and stability during a race. Equally important is the mental preparation that enabled Sonia to navigate the high-pressured environment of competitive racing.
A jockey is probably, pound for pound, one of the strongest athletes that there is, because we're just over 100 pounds and we're on top of an animal that's anywhere from 800 to 1100 pounds. And physical strength is important. So I spend a lot of time exercising horses to get that strength, and then I went to the gym a lot and just did some swimming, just a lot of things on the physical side. Mental side, it was a lot of sorting out races, each race that came, who you were riding. It was a lot of mental preparation for me. Each race that I rode, which horse would want to go to the lead, which horse did not, what did I want to do with mine, and then sort of working out different scenarios that might happen in a race, and then plan A may turn into plan B, C, or D, because anything can happen in a horse race. I think the most memorable race would be the first win. After that moment, I replayed and I rode that race over hundreds of times in my head, just to feel the excitement and the exhilaration. Also riding Precision, who was my first ride. I rode him in the Gold Cup in 1982, and he was a 99-1 shot, and he came second, and it was also very, very memorable. You know, being the first in anything is difficult, and it was perceived that women were not mentally or physically capable of handling a horse at 40 miles an hour in thoroughbred racing. These were things that were brought to my attention after. It never occurred to me that I couldn't do it or wouldn't do it, or that the guys were any different to me. We were just all out there trying to do a job and do the best that we could do. And that's where most of my support came, actually, was from the other jockeys. Absolutely from the other jockeys. And the grooms. Those guys that look after the horses, they were amazing. It was some of the owners and trainers that were cautious and reluctant. Every single race I won had a different story and a different meaning, and very important to me. My 50th winner came on Man of the Sea. He was one of my favorite horses, so I lost my apprentice allowance on him, and it was just lots of memories, lots of memories. I could pick it all apart and give you one by one, but let's just stick with the first ride and the first win for now.
Now, the spirit of camaraderie binds the horse racing community together. Despite the competitive nature of the sport, Sonia Perkins, trainers and stable staff formed close-knit relationships, supporting and uplifting each other. This sense of unity was evident in her horse racing community, where members often describe the environment as one big family.
You know, horse racing is one of the unusual sports where people operate together on the same level. Owners, trainers, they're female grooms, they're female jockeys, they're female stewards. It's just everything. Everybody is together, trying to do the best that they can do. And that's how I saw it. Even though there may have been less female trainers, although there were quite a few female trainers in my day and owners, there seem to be less female trainers now, but many, many more female jockeys worldwide. I mean, like, huge numbers. You will pick up a race card in Australia at a track and you will see 10 and 12 female jockeys riding each day. And it's really changed a lot over the years.
Well, Sonia's story is an indication that horse racing in Barbados is more than just a sport, but a rich legacy that has been woven into the fabric of the island's culture since 1845. Today, events like the prestigious Sandilian Gold Cup, inaugurated in 1982, continue to draw enthusiastic crowds from around the world, celebrating the vibrant heritage of Barbados's horse racing. Now, what about her legacy?
Legacy is the biggest 6-letter word that I know. It's not something that I talk a lot about because I never saw it like that. When you're living in the moment, those things don't always come to mind. And it never occurred to me that, other than when other people brought it up, oh, you're first female jockey in the Caribbean, oh, you're champion jockey, oh, you champion jockey again and again and again. It didn't feel like that for me. It was, I was doing my job. I was doing something that I absolutely loved. And the 3 Ds, dedication, determination, and discipline. If you have those three things in sport, you'll definitely get where you want to go.
Many of us fondly recall those moments when Sonia Perkins was honored with tokens celebrating her groundbreaking achievements. These accolades have served as inspiration to many. But what stands out, and that which she continues to hold aloft for all to see, is a cherished piece of memorabilia presented to her on International Women's Day in March 1985, exactly 40 years ago this month. This artifact symbolizes her remarkable journey and the enduring legacy of women in horse racing.
Well, you had asked me to bring a picture or anything of any race that I may have found extra special, and there were too many to fit in my car. So what I did, I have received several awards over the years, but this one really stands out for me. It was presented by the Bureau of Women's Affairs in 1985. And when I got it and I read for the outstanding contribution to the development of Barbados, that meant a lot to me. And I have kept this safely, and I am extremely happy to be able to show something like this. This is what it's all about, and this means a lot to me, more than anything else.
Well, as we are aware, calypso music, known for its sharp punchlines and social commentary, serves as a mirror reflecting the community's experiences and values. In the 1980s, a calypso intertwined the narrative of Perkins' groundbreaking achievement with the rhythmic storytelling of calypso. The song not only honors her personal triumph, but also encapsulates a significant cultural moment, illustrating how artistic expression and real-life events come together to enrich the cultural tapestry and, in this case, celebrate Sonia Perkins.
With her horse she was exercising. She was slim and trim, and her profession was riding. The way that she was moving was something just like walk like me. Oh God, now Sonia could ride. If you see she moves, she backslide. Side, from side to side. Side, and your Sonia could ride.
Well, quite similarly, Cadejah Arthur emerged as a formidable force in the racing community, defying societal expectations and showcasing exceptional talent and resilience. Her dedication to the sport has inspired many, demonstrating that passion and perseverance can overcome any obstacle. You will now learn of her inspiring journey, her challenges, her triumphs, and the lasting legacies in the sport of horse racing here in Barbados.
My journey in horse racing started from when I was going to school. I used to go to Spring Hill Farms, which is run by Edward Walcott. My cousin Shane Collymore was a jockey at that farm, and every weekend I used to do all my chores so that I could just go to the beach with the horses on Sunday. Call Edward, first person to call Edward in the morning before his dad. And we used to meet Edward on the front road, and we used to go to the beach, and then it just stopped going for a while. Then one day in 2017, I saw my friend TV. He posted that Robert Pierce had a jockey school called the Horse Charity. And I was like, man, I got home doing nothing, and I really like horses, and I could go and do that. I went to the jockey school. I learned the basic stuff from Robert, like how to trot, how to canter. Majority of things that I know today, I learned from Robert. I got my exercise license from Robert Pierce on a horse called Running for Joy. Worked a couple of horses down here for Robert, and then being down here and seeing different riders, and like in horse racing, you just learn something every day. Then one morning, I saw a gentleman called Mr. Chandler, and he had a great horse called Dancing Noble, and it was so pretty, and I was like, I want to ride this horse. And every day I used to ask this guy, morning trainer, can I ride this horse? And he was like, no, I want a big jockey. And I was like, all right. And then keep asking and keep asking, until one day he put me on a horse called Noble Appeal, and That's the first horse I ever rode for him, and we supposed to do 3 rounds, and they do 3 rounds and a full long because they couldn't get him stopped. He was that strong. And he went to Robert and he told Robert, I really like how this girl handled my horse. So then from there, I was working horses for Mr. Chandler on his farm. One day I came down to the track and he always had dogger horse for me to work. He always used to left it back because I had to take school my son on mornings. And I came after 7 o'clock one morning and I saw that dancing noble, they done bed, and it was like, why is she bed already? Well, he ain't leave she for me to ride. And the rest was like, no, you rode in that one day. And it was a horse called Shake the Mount Noble. And it was like, shh, I don't like riding this horse. Like, this horse too strong. Like, I don't want to ride it. I don't like she, like, to pet she, but I don't like she to ride she because she was always strong. And when I on the farm, I would ride classical dance. I would ride last one, I promise. And then when it comes to she, I was like, nah, boy, like, somebody else gonna ride that. Like, whoever did got to ride she. So like, when she done ride, I would go and bait her, or I would go and give her grass, and like, go by her stall and sit and let she, like, rub she mouth on my shoulder, but not thinking that she really liked me like that. Like, she got a bond with me, and I just used to like play with her. And like, every time I go by her stall, she used, like, if I stand up there or like playing doing a video or something, she needs to rest her head on my shoulder, and like, just like, you could feel the weight of her head, just like, and ease the tension down. And it was like, oh, you like me like that? But then I move on to the next one. I went over to a friend of mine at the time called Rashid Hughes, and I asked him about the horse, and he was like, you gonna be good? And I was like, he said I go into the gates, and I get real nervous, and I was like, nah, like, I don't want to ride that one. And my hand's shaking, the nerves kicking in now, because I thinking in my mind now, I thinking that I can't get through, but I had to get rid of that feeling. So when I went to the gates, no, the jockey that was in the gates for me said, if you don't keep putting your eat sand, I was like, nah, boy, I can't eat no sand today. Like, I have to be out and I have to be gone. And I went right first, right straight line, right proper, and my nerves are done gone because the adrenaline rush, all of that went to it. When I come back and say no, I was like, good, I do it, I get past that. Like, I feel good with myself now that I get to Reishi and I get to accomplish something that I never accomplished. Robert told me, because he watched me and a few other trainers, and they was like, oh, you just passed for jockey license. And I was like, what? And I was like, nah, like, unbelievable. And I was like, yeah, so you was the first female in such and such years. I can't remember exactly how much. And I was like, no way. So when I gone back now to the charity that we used to work with Robert, assisting him, and Robert was like, everybody still get jockey license. And I was like, oh my goodness, because I don't really like much attention. Like, I prefer to be like in my own shell and not so much spotlight. And then after that, I get my first career ride on Shake the Mount Noble. Same horse, I don't like riding. First career ride on her. She's a real special horse. I used to work a lot of horses on Mr. Chandler's farm and down here for him. And I was on the farm and I was supposed to ride a horse called Classical Dancer. But other jockey was supposed to ride Shake the Mount Noble, and he called and he said he got a different ride. So Mr. Chandler said, you know what, I'm gonna give that girl the ride. I ride not say he, but he called me that girl. Coming onto it, people again phone calls because people posting it on Facebook, people talking about it in the news and stuff like that. And the nerves hitting me now because remember I said that I don't like that much attention. Like, I hate to be the center of attention. I go into the gym and my gym instructor was like, come, let me get you fit and strong for this race. And he telling everybody that come into the gym. And I was like, oh my goodness, that time the nerves beating me. And I don't know. And I like, oh my goodness, like, it was an overwhelming feeling, but when I come and like I get on and all them things went away. The slightest mistake I made down here, being a female, everybody does realize it. Like, if I come and do ba today, ba gonna get remember in a week's time. So, in my first career start, I had 2 rides, and that was on Shake the Mount Noble and Classical Dancer. On Classical Dancer, when I came out the gates, my leg come out to this right leg, and this one was stuck, and it was whole race. I trying to get out this leg to balance off, and when I get past the finish line, I went the whole race with my one leg out. and I couldn't get out this leg because it was stuck. The stirrup was that small and I can't get out my leg. Then, as soon as I get out my leg, the breechers was so slippery that I slipped and I fell. You see, after that, people was like, oh, you falling down, this here, that, there. Keep talking about it. And like, I stopped for a while. 2021, I stopped. So October, I ain't race from, say, November, December, January, February, I didn't ride. And I only start back riding like late, like February. And then like, I was at home and it was like you can't live for people, you gotta live for yourself. And it was like, I gotta ignore the outside noise because the outside noise is toxic.
Interestingly enough, the subtitle of this series is Resilience and Leadership. What about her first career win and the meticulous preparation that led to this major achievement?
Coming on to that race, my first career win, let me tell you, I was preparing hard, working horses for Eddie now, the trainer now called Eddie Bell. Played a huge role in my career. I was training, going to the gym, coming down here, working horses for Eddie, getting what I could get from down here, eating properly, getting the amount of rest because my mom, she just made sure that I got the right stuff all the time. And that day, my intentions was to do my best not to win. I was like, again out there now, I'm gonna do my best, pray to God. When I get out there, the trainer told me, you're gonna do your best, you go ahead, use it. That's the only instructions the trainer gave me. And when I went out there, it was a 12-horse field, full. And the week in front, the race day before, I get beat by this much. And I win my first career race by this much. And like the guy that was next to me, he was beating at his chest and I do so and I look, I peep and I was like, no way. And I gone across the back and two guys was out there and it was like, you can hear the crowd? You look, you been here? And I was like, nah. And a smile come from my face now because I upset now because I was like, you know, the amount of seconds that I got like this here, you know, people gonna talk a lot of smack. And I was like, shh. And when I come back now, I hear the crowd cheering and all the congratulations and stuff like that. But it was an overwhelming feeling. And then I get a phone call. I was in the bath, in the jockey house, and I got a phone call from Sonia Perkins. She called Eddie. She was like, so I just called Eddie so that I could congratulate you. And I was like, gee, I feel good now because like, Sonia Perkins is a big one. Like, that's legendary. So like, I had to feel good that she called and she sent me she congratulations. That means that she's been watching, you understand? So I had to feel good about that part.
And so she inspires one female jockey inspiring another female jockey. And hopefully you too will be inspired. That is exactly what this program is all about. Now, speaking of drawing inspiration from another, Cadejah Arthur speaks of the females who have inspired her.
When I came, I found women. I had a trainer called Liz Dean, awesome. And she got the second most wins at the Garrison in racing history as a female. We got the CEO, Rosette Pierce, another female, awesome, do an awesome job all the time. And we got a groom called Carol. She does groom a lot of winners. Being the only female, it's come with the good and it's come with the bad. And it got some people that don't believe that a female could get the job done. Then it got some people that would like them, and then like the outside world now, like the punters, the slightest mistake I make, the slightest thing that I do, like you're gonna hear somebody talk about it, like they ain't gonna talk about it. They're gonna talk about it today. People are gonna keep mentioning it. For instance, like that one time that I fell, and was like, oh, you're the girl that fell, and it was like, okay, yeah, like I've been riding races after that and I've been winning, but you're not hearing about that part. You're gonna not hear about the good, you're gonna hear about the bad always. But you gotta be strong-minded. As I said, the outside noise don't matter. Like you gotta be you and you gotta focus and like just defy odds. I don't think the guys think that I'm a sister. I think that them just think that I'm a brother. Like them don't treat me like less than the average person, because when I had my first couple starts, let me tell you, the ones that I had close to me, like Raheem Tarp, Rashid Hughes, and a few others, that was like, you know that we're not going out there and feel for you. And I was like, well, I don't want you to feel for me. I don't want you to baby me because I'm a girl. You understand? So that, like, I could get that feeling, like, how to feel like them out there. All of them have their own unique way of riding, and like, all jockeys have different riding styles. As I would tell a friend of mine, horses is made jockeys, jockeys don't make horses, because you could give the worst out the lot, a good horse, and it could still come out in. You understand? So, any day, it does be a perfect pair, so you and the horse should be entwined. So, the horse strong, you should be strong too.
Having achieved success in her sport, Cadejah Arthur now extends heartfelt encouragement to other females aspiring to enter the world of horse racing. She emphasizes that with unwavering determination and hard work, anything is possible, inspiring others to pursue their dreams in this field.
I will welcome all the females with open arms. And when they come, be consistent, believe in yourself, trust the process, and let them talent speak for itself.
In the demanding sport of horse racing, injuries are an inherent risk that the most seasoned jockey face. Cadejah Arthur, currently unable to participate because of an injury, reflects on this challenging aspect of her profession. She acknowledges that setbacks like these are part of a jockey's journey, emphasizing the importance of resilience and mental fortitude in overcoming such challenges. Her perspective serves as a testament to the unwavering spirit required to navigate the highs and lows of this sport.
I got an injury back in October 2024, occupational hazard. I was riding on the sand track, and this is a horse I usually ride. So the morning time, he going along exceptionally well, and he usually get trouble. And I tell myself, all right, my boy, relax today. He's going along pretty fine, and I relax on him. That's the biggest mistake I made. So when we get approaching the 5, my man snatch off. And then he gave me a sudden dash, and now I had to grab the reins and try to steer him the direction that I wanted him to go. And when he gave me that sudden dash now, I fell on the side of him. And when I fell on the side of him, his leg collided with mine, and it broke my fibula and my tibia. So I had an open compound fracture. So I was like, let me let go. And when I let go, like, it was like, nah, boy, you're on the ground now. A fellow rider, he came out. He was on a horse, but he came out. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, how my foot look? And he was like, nah, don't move. And it was like, I could feel it. So I dragged myself literally out the road. And Robert Pierce, he came. And he was like, what's Sue? Foot look good, man? I was like, Robert, I asked you that. I said, Robert, how my foot look for you? He was like, man, you gonna get a boyfriend? Tell me about boyfriend. I said, Robert, I did not ask you that. How my foot look? Robert was like, man, you gonna be good. He skipping the fact to tell me that my foot looked messed up because I one way I could feel my foot the other way. And when the paramedics came and they cut off my boot, and I was like, I was sitting up like this, and I looked down, and I was like, I started to giggle because at the time my body hot. And how I just deal with pain, I cope with pain real good. Like when I in pain, I like to be silent as much as possible. And I looking at my leg, and as soon as I cut open the boot, my foot started to spout blood, and it was like, she's on brothers. Like it was like, this is not discouraging y'all from riding. These things was happening, and I was like, man. When I went to the, when they put me on that stretcher, because my cousin came out there, same Shane Collimer, he came out there, and he said, you see what I tell you? I tell you, don't come out riding, because he not too keen on me riding. And he said, you see what I tell you? These horses gonna break you up. And he was so upset. And he crying, I ain't crying, he crying. And I was like, all right, like in my mind, because I said, like when I in pain, I like to be as silent as possible. And you see, because it was 2 paramedics, and Robert and Shane and a lady called Leslie, then was out there. And I said, all I want to go lift me up, because 2 of these say can't lift me up, because when I get in pain, I get angry. And it was like, 2 of these can't move me, because how the state of my leg was like dangly, like, you know, not so right. And it was like, lift my leg carefully, and put me on that stretcher, because like, I don't want no more happen to it, make it worse than how it really is. Then when I get on the stretcher, right from the QEH, The 5 minutes I took to get from here to the QEH, that was the worst 5 minutes of my life because my body done cool down and I could feel all the pain in my leg. So it wasn't a crying, it was just silence and it was quiet and it was like, I just need some paracetamol. Like I need something. Like I need something for this pain. And this is a pain that was uncontrollable. My physiotherapist, Stephanie, she's the one boy that made me cry. I mean, like literally. Like, as somebody to tell me that physio would be so bad, I would have never got a broken bone, like, honestly. But kudos to her. And I taken it day by day. And like, whatever it comes with, it comes with. So I could tell you one thing, I can be back out there riding, and I guarantee you that.
Reflecting on her injury, Cadejah Arthur remains resolute. Her determination mirrors the pioneering spirit of Sonia Perkins, Barbados' first female jockey, who blazed a trail for females in this sport. Arthur's commitment not only exemplifies personal resilience, but also continues the legacy of female empowerment in horse racing, inspiring future generations to pursue their passions despite challenges. This has been She Inspires, Resilience and Leadership, a production of the Bureau of Gender Affairs in the Ministry of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs. Special thanks to my producer and editor, Miles Eversley. I'm Sherwood McCaskey. The series continues next week at the same time.